nature of that which is. So we'll go with that. It's the same as a meditation with the heart. So I've just got some solfeggio music, if I can get it going. This might not be loud enough. I couldn't get the things to work before. Yeah, that's loud enough. I don't want it to overwhelm. Yeah. So I'll just put that there. Okay. So you just let yourself be the love. Introduce yourself to the inner world and the love that fountains forth immeasurably through all of time. All of time. Be that which is. Be that which is. Your wings have spread. Your mind has mellowed. Your heart has pumped 1 trillion times. The joy of the universe in the expression of that which we are is untold. We are the light. We are the mixture of all that has expressed itself in all of time, in all of space, and all of non-space. Proud, even defiant, we exist on this planet truthfully, deeply, heartfully. Nothing daunts us. Nothing daunts us. Nothing daunts us. We are the mobilization of the force of all that is. The creation that allows this to present itself through all time and space, magically, wonderfully, flowing in all its essence. Every cell of your being reverberates, and counts itself blessed that it has the capacity to be here now, feeling the energy of this explosion of gratitude that humanity is immersed in, and that is being mirrored to us through all of life. Take the opportunity to feel that which we are. Breathe deeply and listen. Find the harmony with all that is, without resistance and in the flow. And the secrets of the self and the magnitude of the glory of that which you are will rest in the embrace and the passionate, increasingly present affirmation of our worth, our preciousness, our beloved nature as the forerunners of the future. Breathe into your soul. Breathe into the magnitude and the effervescence and the strangeness. For yes, for those of us on this earth preparing the way for those to come, we have glimpses. We have glimpses. And those glimpses unroll in the future as the majesty, magnificence and the power of love. Feel your feet, your torso, your arms, your head glistening, glistening in the embrace of the light that floods, the light that floods the crystalline structures of the entirety of the galaxy. Not just you, my beloveds, the galaxy, but then you are the galaxy. So yes, indeed, the trick of tongue has explained it to you. All of time is grateful for this, here now, foreseen, foretold, prepared for, adventured toward. Lift in the graciousness of your preparation for your coming demise. Or should I introduce that here when we are being so glorious about our perfection? Oh yes, indeed, let us talk of demise. Lift up to the highest point of your calibration that is possible. Lift up, lift up, lift up, beyond, far, far, far. All of the galaxies, all of the planetary whirrings and movements and occasions, all of it is your future. All of this is your future. So the wee little turning point of demise is a door, merely a door. And so we eagerly embrace that door. We eagerly embrace that door. We raise the door, the demise, for a specific reason. When the heart is free, when the mind is cool, when the body is at rest, the life of the universe flows freely and magnifies the capacity of that beingness, that body, to be healthy, to live long and strong, and then to simply be left behind. Left behind. However, in the spring of our life, we chose the circumstances and the processes of our demise in the spring. Nothing will ever take away the free choice and the constant repetition and possibilities of removal or demise or the door. But be aware, the freshness that enters into the mind of that which is finds new possibilities at every step along the way, and those possibilities increasingly become urgent within the being, and those possibilities sometimes require new bodies. And so simply we lay down the body we have, for we must travel far, go distances, or return with new emphases. And why is this a point in a meditation of the heart? Because the coolest mind that can accept the power of that which is has no need of longevity. However, that which is has the capacity to increase the nobility of form and function. And so we are not dismissing this body as a nothing. We are simply, in a way, dragging these bodies around for the purpose of a genteel exploration of the capacity of the human to evolve. We evolve mentally first, and then we create new substance. And we in this room today are the nobility of the creation, for we have moved beyond the panic and the disarray of the mob mentality present in so many places on the planet. And it is so, and it is acceptable. But in this room, in this quiet, as you breathe, you are bringing light to this world through the mechanism through which you stride forth, or lie down, or swim, or walk, or see, or taste, or touch, or feel. What a magnificence is this! What a magnificence! So now, as we calmly draw this towards the end, take your time to feel the quiet of your mind, the gentle breathing of your body, the collapsing of all time, all of eternity, to all that is, this moment, now. And feel the presence of the divinity, of the magnificence, of the harmony, of all of that which is. A few moments to feel that harmony. Bring yourself back. Wiggle your toes, move your body. Feel your presence in your body, in this room, in this space. And know the possibilities are endless. When you feel refreshed, open your eyes and take your place once more in the flow of all that is.
everybody back. Hope you found that very refreshing. Okay, I know we're behind time, but this is very rare for a Virgo, but anyway, there you go. So if you want to say anything, you don't have to. You know, I'm not that naughty that I'd force you to do anything. I might cut out my bit because I'm the organiser and I can do what I like. Len, do you want to shorten yours a bit because we're running late?
No, do you want to leave me go altogether if you like?
Oh, have you just got a comment, just a short one? It's up to you.
Okay. Thanks for the meditation.
Yes, thank you, Catherine.
Did anyone notice that she was playing the solfeggio music? Any questions on that? Solfeggio music, you can Google it and download it. It's completely different music to what we know. The music we have, I think, solfeggio music was changed in the 16th or 17th century, and they put an extra note in or a semitone in, so that all the music that we have now and the vibrations from the music played is against our vibrations, which keeps us under control and everything like that, and sad and mad and anger and everything like that. So if you want to, just Google a solfeggio and play it and sit back. You notice that meditation for me was great because I knew as soon as I heard the solfeggio music and something, there are no unknown negatives in it. It's a bit like we know the electricity that we have in our houses and everything we use is, you know, it's 240 volt. And then you've got this the black stuff, the EMF, which harms us. It's almost as if the solfeggio music had taken away all the black stuff. Because when they changed solfeggio music and everything, they added the black stuff. And it was just a bit of a point. That's also thank you for that.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
I had a couple of things to say, probably forgotten now. It's very hard for me to do a 10-minute or even 10-second things without taking 10 hours.
Don't worry, I'll tell you.
You're lucky. I was going to mention a bit about a month ago we had, or so ago, we had Blossom Goodchild here. And I was going to quote a bit, one paragraph out of one which was just released today. And I suggest you read it, but I can't get you a damned internet on my thing, so.
Oh.
But I needn't do that. I'll just go short on a couple of things I was going to mention anyway. I'm always aware, myself personally, of trying to keep as much as I can in this world by trying ever to think of the fifth dimension all the time. I know it's not here, but by trying to imagine it's here and trying to manifest it in my own life, it's what makes all the bad stuff around you sort of pale into insignificance.
He's on stage.
Oh, dear me.
Couldn't see on the camera.
Oh. So, really, to answer a question that you had before, what happens when we go to sleep at night or something, from what I've been told for many decades now is everyone, no exceptions, astral planes and travels every night. Of course, most people are not aware of it, and only very few come back. You're one of the lucky ones, Michael. You come back with a few memories of places you've been and everything like that. So
galactic beings and all that stuff.
I was privileged for that when I was much younger. Younger in my life, I was allowed, but it's not there at the moment. That doesn't bother me. But I remember doing a meditation on. I'm very familiar with the inner earth and the people that live there and the cities that inner earth, and I was participating in a meditation in the city of Telos in inner earth, just the one that's the city of Telos, below Mount Shasta in California. There's a city. Does anyone realise there's a city underneath that mountain there. It's actually 1.5 million people live in there, and something. And but they're all fifth dimensional. So, but I was taking part in this particular one on one of the Sacred Flames meditations, and for about, it wasn't even a second, I don't think, in Earth time, but I was given a glimpse, not a glimpse, I was given a feeling of what it's like to be in fifth dimension. And that feeling, even though I felt in Earth time it was less than a second, has never left me. It's always something you can, your imagination is of the divine. I can go back to my imagination and bring it back to life. I can feel it again and participate in whenever I feel like it. And about being in fifth dimension, such a beautiful place to be, is the fact that you can feel every second the love of the Creator. We hear of things, surrender to the will of God and everything like that, but to me, I think the best way to put that really is to just be happy with the divine plan. Just go along with it. Whatever it is it's going to be, just let everything unfold and let everything go as it is. But I've never forgotten that glimpse or that feeling of what it was like, and you live like that all the time. It's a bit like, I don't know, something in your life that's the best orgasm you've ever had. Not the first one, maybe lots of them, but or childbirth or something like that. After going through that pain or something, and then look at that life that you've helped create and bring into the world, must be a magic feeling. Well, if you could imagine these magic feelings that you've experienced and somehow expand that 1,000 times, it'll give you maybe an idea of what it's like to participate in a fifth dimensional, in a world of fifth dimension. And that's where we all came from. Probably not, I would say most of us are well above the fifth dimension, but it doesn't matter. We call it fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth dimensions, keep on going, they keep on going anyway. But it's not that as if you're in the fifth dimension, oh shit, I'm going to have to work hard, I've got to somehow work my way up into the sixth dimension, and then I'm in the sixth, and perhaps another million lifetimes I'll go to the seventh. It's not like that at all. You seamlessly go into these places. They're not, because we're human, we have to say it's 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got to put everything in a box so we can understand it. But it's not like that in reality at all. It's just that if you were, let's say you were sufficiently, your vibrations had gone to the end of the fifth dimension, and all of a sudden you're in the sixth dimension. You wouldn't know it, but you would be aware that everything around you is different and you understand things in a different way and everything like that. And you can visit the fifth dimension. You can go back and visit people in the fifth dimension, but they can't come and visit you in the sixth. And that's how it goes. And you just sort of keep going and everything like that. It was just a thought. I thought I'd just give you an idea of the impressions I got when I was shown that feeling.
Right.
And I had something else to say, and now I've forgotten it. Once I looked at you, I sort of...
Yes. On that thought of the orgasm, I think we have...
Well, I'm a bit scared to say it to you, Michael. Did I hit the mark?
It's been a long while.
Oh well, try and be in the fifth dimension. You can have your orgasm 24/7. Let's try and think of it that way.
Brilliant.
So with
Thank
that,
you.
thank you all.
Dr. Craig, do you want to tell us about your experience last week, was it? I've only heard a third, version.
Yeah, it wasn't so much of a... I think you just want me to
Come on,
say...
stand up. Everybody can see us. Welsh boy from the valley. No, you're not from the valley. So
Yeah, I'm from the
Cardiff. Oh, you are from the valley.
Yeah.
went
I
to
think
the
you
rallies.
just want me to say this, so I'm showing Michael's like magical skills of looking at a coffee cup. That's pretty much what it was, isn't it? So I love going out in the night and just stargazing. He didn't know that. He looked at my chai tea, and he said, "Oh, I see 4 shooting stars." And that night or that week, I did see 4 shooting stars, which is unusual to see 4. You normally see 1. So that was pretty much the story.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
And following on,
There we go.
more from that.
I was sitting there too, and I thought Michael was just mucking around, so I'm just going, oh yeah.
No,
you know.
he was just having another orgasm.
No, piccolo. So he's looked at my piccolo and he's going, oh yes, you're going to go to Spain. I go, yeah, are you going to take me? And then he saw, I can't remember, you saw something else, and then you saw a broken heart. I said, yeah, who hasn't got a broken heart? And then I'm talking to Craig and he's going, oh, Michael was fantastic, yeah. I told you I was going to see these 4. So when I saw him the following week, I gave him a hug. I said, I think I owe you an apology. So he thrived on that. He thought that was great. So we had another coffee and he looked at my piccolo thing again and he said, it's that. And so I've gone out a couple of nights later to my door and I looked up and saw exactly what he saw on the cup. So I sent him a text with the photo and sent him a text and said, yeah, damn, you're good. So everybody, bring your coffee cups next time and get him to do some readings.
I can bullshit the best.
Don't get personal.
To bring Judith in on that, because Judith was there, and Judith read my coffee scum. And what did you see in mine, Judith?
That was days ago.
Come on, into the limelight. Come on. Introduce yourself at least.
I'll give one little story.
Oh, only one? Okay.
Yeah, I could do millions.
This is Judith, everybody.
Hi, 4 years ago, I lost my son, and last Easter, I had the other 2 boys around, and I light a candle, and we have it in the middle of the table, and I put a serviette and all those things. My middle boy, who was closest to Matt, hasn't coped particularly well. And so it's a nice thing for me to be able to include Matt in the thing. And so we'd finished and blew out the candle, and Brad went to turn the TV on. And he turned it on and the TV went off, and he turned it on and the TV went off. And he started to really freak out, really big time. So I took it and Matt kept turning the TV off. And in the end, I just said, Matt, we know you're here. Thank you so much. And the TV stayed on.
Who else can I rope in? Oh, there's somebody at my right side that might want to say something. Look at that. Come on. This is Bernie, everybody.
Hi. So I came to here many years ago
That way a bit.
at my best side with Naomi, which as soon as I came into the house I went, oh my god, I've been here before. I saw that and thought that was
That wasn't there 5 years
Wasn't
ago.
it?
That was 3 years.
Maybe it was
no,
something
nearly
you
3
sent me
years.
on your messenger.
Oh, I just have all my art. It's like a gallery in here. It's just promote myself. Right left and centre.
So about contact. So here, anyone here actually looks, obviously Craig does, looks into the night sky and actually does sky watching or goes to sky watching groups?
We do. Oh, we don't know.
Occasionally we go.
Occasionally, yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Have you seen much?
No.
No?
No, I see stuff and my guys just tell me, we're here,
Yeah.
so you don't need to look up there, we're standing next to you, so.
Okay. Yep. I just see it as a different form of guide
Yeah.
or
I saw my
consciousness,
craft.
obviously.
Yeah, I saw my craft.
Okay, and what was it?
It was actually, I've been watching it for every morning at 6 o'clock. I would walk my dog and I look up in the sky and it was a golden orb. It appeared golden,
Yeah.
reflection of the sun.
Yep.
And then, unbeknownst to me at that time, when I got home, that room was taken from me, so I wouldn't share because I belonged to Blossom's group at that time, and there wasn't to share. And about 7 weeks down the track, I saw it coming closer in, lower down, with small lights around it. And when I voiced, "That is my craft," the lights went in, it went slowly, diagonally up, and then it knocked out. And for about 2 or 3 days, my whole insides were just churning and churning. I've seen it about 3 times since. About 3 times. Yeah.
So do you see a
It
face in it?
changed my life.
Do you see a face in it at all? Or
No.
is
no,
it just...
No, didn't see that.
Okay.
But it did change my life.
So many people know about Dr. Stephen Greer.
Yeah.
So I use his technique, and I used his technique when I heard about it back in about 2016. And I went to many Skywatch events, usually at Mount the Deer Park at Samsonvale. Lauren Kurth used to have them. I don't know if anyone's heard of her.
Yeah, she came and spoke to us here.
Okay, she's very powerful with bringing craft in. So back in then, for about 6 months, I used to use Dr. Stephen Greer's protocol to bring in craft. Does anyone know what that is basically? So basically, you do.
You told me.
Yeah, okay. So basically you just send your consciousness up from where you are. Like I live at Sunrise Beach. So then I just, I raise my vibration and then send it up. As I'm going up, I just show topographical points. So sort of like, if you know Sunrise Beach, there's like Lion's Head or Hell's Gate, and then Dove Island Point. Then you've got, Fraser Island. So as my consciousness goes up, I leave Australia and go up and sort of show the shape of Australia and where I've come. And once I've got my consciousness up there, I then bring it back down to where I am, so they know where I am basically on the beach. So I had been doing this for about 6 months, raising my consciousness, and thought, oh, maybe one day they'll hear me. And one day they did. And I was just sitting on the beach, and they said, get up and walk to the beach, walk to the water's edge. So here I am. I look out to sea and I see 2 lights, and I just go, WTF. And then next thing I'm getting this telepathic communication from them, and I'm just going, whoa, this stuff works. And I was a bit bewildered and amazed. So here I am walking home, and I've still got this telepathic voice going in my head. Actually, I don't know why I don't remember the message, because I'm just freaked out a little bit by it. And the next thing, you've got this voice in your head, and you know it's not yourself or your consciousness. And I remember a friend said, if you don't want them to be there, universal law is you can tell them to go and they have to go. So I was so freaked out by them, I said, okay, can you please go? I don't know what's happening. I'm a little bit fearful, and they're gone, and they haven't come back. So about 2-3 weeks ago, here I am on the beach, late on dusk, twilight, and next thing I'm thinking, it's now time to bring them back in again. So from me doing that, from the first time I went to the beach to start doing it again, for a whole week, I saw stuff and craft, different anomalies. It's some of them a bit hard to explain. Craft that I think were cloaked. So I don't know if anyone's seen sort of craft where it's just a shimmer. Like on a hot day, you look on the horizon on a hot road and you just see the shimmer. It's like that. So, and then you see that shimmer move there and then there, and just weird things I haven't seen before. So I've only started probably in the last week and a half, and I've seen a lot of craft, a lot of things. Michael's come one night to have a look, and one thing we saw, and you got it actually on video, was a flashing, just a flash. So we actually saw a craft take off from the airport. So it comes over between Sunrise Beach and Castaways. That's the flight path. So it was flew out west, came around, went out to sea. And as it was going out to sea, we saw just a flash to the left of the craft.
About
and
10
You've got
times?
it on film, yeah, at least 10 times. So my friend Lauren, she came recently too, and sorry, a shitload of stuff. So anything from like plasma beams, it looks like a shooting star, and it can go like straight down, but they actually go slower than a shooting star or across the sky. So I think it's actually a craft sending out like a laser beam or a plasma ball. I don't know how to explain it. So from that to power ups to flashing lights to things that just change direction. So things going slow, fast. So anyone, if anyone wants to, is near Sunrise Beach, Twilight, I'm often on the beach, or we can organise it. I'm only having like 1 or 2 people because I just feel it's easier to raise my vibration if I'm just sort of like with just 1 or 2 people. So anyone's keen to come along if you just want to
Well, I live
come
down
and
there.
observe.
I live at Sunrise.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll give you my number.
okay, terrific. So I can give you my number, or just go through the CCC. So that's about it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. We've, as a group, we've been out near the tree. Jenny was there, and Louise, she's not here today. 3 of us saw lights to the north, which is twice, I think it happened, both in meetings, because we know that they're here listening to us because they're fascinated by what we talk about and how we think of them. So, would you, well, perhaps you don't want to do it, but could we have a sky watch here, instead of being at the coast, we can have it here, near the tree, because we know it's a portal there. The ones that didn't know that, there's a portal. Oh, yeah, we're in here, yeah, we're listening. So, if anybody wants to do that, we can do it on day of a meeting. We could start later, so we do it in the dark, because it's usually easier to see them. So anybody interested, let me know, text me, you know me and text, I love text. And so yeah, does that appeal to anybody?
If people
Craig, of course.
Yeah. If people want to do it, obviously the more there is, it's a combined consciousness, and they know we're all there.
Yeah.
You know how it all works, so I don't need to explain that. But I feel like I'm going to get contact again very soon by telepathy, and maybe even further, hopefully.
You can be our leader.
Taking your leader. Your leader.
All right, we've roped him in, so we'll have to arrange a date.
What did they say to you, Bernie?
Well, that's the thing. I can't remember because I was so gobsmacked by that. They actually contacted me. And it's a bit of a shock at first, and you go into a bit of a fear state, and after that you and ask them to leave. You go, well, I want you to come back. It's not that simple. So I'm working on it.
Great, thanks for sharing that.
A little bit there towards the end, as you're finishing towards, and you know they're going to go. So it's often helpful to ask them to flash a light of recognition, and often that'll happen. It's usually if they do, that'll be a red light, because often the craft, when they're showing their colours are red, white, and green, but if you say, look, okay, that was great, or something like that, would you like to flash? I know you're there. How about saying hello? And people have got the red flashes.
Well, I went out last week and I turned on the light on the camera and sort of moved it around and stuff like that. And there's this really, it looked like a plane, because it was like red, white and green, as you said that. And I thought, no, it's a plane, it's a plane. But it was going, you know, they normally go about 500 kilometers an hour or miles, whatever it is. And this was going, shh. It's like, it seems a bit faster than an ordinary plane, right? So I don't know, I've still got the video, I think, somewhere. Okay, looking at you two. We don't know anything about you. Sue and Des in the stalls. Would you like to, one of you come forward and introduce yourself? That's all you have to do, and just where you're from, what you're up to, what the last dog, oh, I shouldn't say that.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
For a lot of us, I think. Who wants to come up and have a quick introduction?
Come on, Sue.
Come on, it's not that scary. You're just on camera with 30 people around.
That's scary. Do I have to?
Yes, no, just say where you are, or just say it from your seat if you want to.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Sue, my husband Deb. We live at Coolum. And all of these subjects are really interesting and it's been really good today.
Yeah.
But we have seen lights and I wanted to ask someone the question, when you're looking at the stars at night, they look like stars moving across the sky. What are they? Are they satellites or?
Could be.
There are a lot of satellites.
If it's a chain like a train, that's Starlink, which I've got internet from Starlink on my roof. But that's like a constant train of satellites all connected to each other. This is Mr. Elon Musk.
I have seen them when we've been stargazing, like appear from all different directions, but they just look like the size of stars.
Yeah, but they are moving. Yeah, it's. I always go with it into my heart, and does it resonate with me that they're real or not? And sometimes I get nervous of playing. And Dee looks out the window because it's pitch black out here at night. She goes, "See UFOs?" No, it's a plane. She, oh, there's another. No, it's a plane.
No, it's cars. Oh, it's car lights.
Oh, yeah, car lights. Yeah.
You're getting,
Yes, the car lights.
you're getting cars, planes around the time of there.
Low flying cars. Yeah, it was brilliant. Just that road opposite.
It was Harry Potter.
Yes.
Well, I was in the Simpson Desert once in our swag, and we noticed the bright red, white, and green coming. And I thought, said to my wife, I said, "Hello, here's one of them." And I just thought, nah, it's a plane or something. And then it stopped, and because it was a fairly big star too, actually. And then it started going around in circles. And I thought, oh, that's
Stars
cool.
always do that. Yeah.
But a big wide circle. I thought, oh, this is fun. Now, thanks for putting on the show for us. But then another one started in the distance, and it was following the route from Darwin to Adelaide. And I know the track that it went over because I'm used to being up there. And anyway, as soon as it got level with the other one, I thought, I wonder if they can see the other one in the plane.
Yeah.
And as the plane just got past there, it started doing figures of 8. As it wasn't a plane at all. They were actually both doing figures of 8s.
Yeah.
Well, that's the most unusual one I've seen.
Sue, you can talk to them, communicate telepathically. You just have to ask. Don't be afraid to ask spirit, ask galactics or whatever. And I talked to my dad, he's in spirit. Amazing what he finds for me. It's usually tradies to do jobs, but anyway. But, you know, galactics, you can just telepathically talk to them. And it's the intention again. Everything's the intention. If you have the intention that you want to communicate and you have no fear, because you want to get rid of fear, everything for everyone, basically. We talk about that a bit, don't we?
Just with satellites too, if anything's going, say, west-east, so southwest, northeast, or northwest going southeast, because of the curvature of the Earth, and often you see the satellites in the twilight or the early evening. Once they're going too far east, they're out into the Earth's shadow, so you won't see them anymore. So that's easy to satellite. Yeah, you probably work that out for yourself.
On another occasion, we were in Brisbane staying at a hotel and we were sitting on the balcony, and we had even with the city lights and all that, we had a good view of the starry night. And we saw coming from the left a group of about 5, was it? Once again, it just looked like stars, but they were in a group moving across. And kind of when they got right in front of us, they split up a little bit and sort of went in different directions. And one in particular went really quickly that way and then really quickly stopped and then changed direction.
There was,
Sounds like a
I'll
crowd.
just review that a bit. There was 5 super bright lights, all equidistant travelling. We're at South Bank at Ridges Hotel, and you were out on the balcony, and I think you sung out to me to come out and have a look. And they were here to the left, slowly travelling. Wow, that's fantastic, look at those things. And 4 kept going this way. The last one shot off really quickly and stopped. The others kept travelling, and then that one shot back to the same distance, equidistant from the other 4, and slowly moved out of sight. And it's like, that wasn't a helicopter or anything like that.
Can I just say, get your camera out of your pocket and take pictures of videos better.
Yeah.
Because you can even just take stills from your video. So video has it all, and you can chop it up and do whatever you like. That's what I do. Because I'm a believer in evidence and proof, and I like, and I've never sent it to anybody. I did point out that there's a painting in there, you can just about see it from here, the mountain with a beam of light going into it.
Oh yeah.
That, I couldn't capture it, so I had to paint it. So I can talk about it, because they were gleaning energy from the mountain, I feel, because volcanic mountains all have crystals inside, and they emit energy like everything. And I feel they were coming to get the energy, and then it flew over my head, talking about cloaking. I didn't see any shimmering, but it was a still night, like the nights we've had the last few nights, and there was no vision of it at all, but the air above my head was moving, and it wasn't very far away. It was like 50 to 75 feet, probably. It was very close. It just came right over my head. And 2 months later was when we went to Uluru, Dee and I, and Bente, who's not here. And yeah, I think it was they were downloading information for me to go to Uluru. That's just that. But, okay, anybody else, Bev?
I want to ask a question of either of you. Is there any baddies in the crowd?
What happens is, what I feel is, you're raising your vibration that high that you aren't you're not bringing in any negative entities or negative UFOs.
Again, the intent. If you want to bring in baddies, you'll attract them really well.
Because you have to, I feel I have to raise my frequency to bring in the ones I want.
Okay.
I don't know who they are. And the energy that came to me that day and gave me the telepathic message, I didn't know where they were from. I didn't ask any of that. So I was just like, whoa.
I saw one very close. I'm pretty sure I was about 5 years old, and it had no lights, no sound. It was just quite close up in the sky. I was at primary school, and the bell had rung to go back to class, and I wanted to go to the toilet, so I was rushing to the toilet. The toilet was outside in the school grounds, and there was kids like running past, and I remember saying to them, look at that, but nobody stopped, and I stopped and looked at it.
It's okay, you're among friends.
I didn't know what it was, and so I just went into the toilet, did my business, and came out. It was still there, and then slowly moved across the sky and went into where there was like a small hill or mountain with these big pine trees. And I lost sight of it. And for years and years later, I used to look up at that hill and sort of wondered what the hell it was that I'd seen. Anyway, I sort of pushed it at the back of my memory for a long time. Never told anybody about it. I think I told my mother at the time, and she said, "Oh, you must have been mistaken." And then last year I had a past life regression.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was interested to see whether or not I had been abducted. But it came out that I hadn't been, but that was the first sign to me that I would see things that other people wouldn't.
Mm.
So it sort of confirmed to me that I had actually seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and me seeing it did have some sort of meaning. So,
What sort of age were you? At school age, was it?
grade 1, I was about 5.
5.
Yeah, but it was a typical saucer shape,
Mm-hmm.
silver, no lights, no sound,
Mm.
no windows or anything. It was just a dome, came down like that.
My experience with the one I saw from here was 5.5 years ago. That I felt was like family. I now realise that now. I didn't at the time, but 'cause that was the first I've ever seen, right? But I had no fear of it. I was fascinated by it. I had to get the camera out and video it. Many of you here have seen the video, haven't you, Donna? No, I thought I showed you. But yeah, it could have been your family, your galactic family. Does everybody realise we come from galactics, right? Or universal, probably better.
I do remember that I wasn't scared.
Abducted. You weren't abducted.
No, I wasn't abducted.
So it was
and
just-
I wasn't afraid. I
Okay.
was just, what am I looking at? You
Mm.
know?
Fascinating, eh?
But-
5-year-old.
All the years, I used to think about it. Did that really happen? Because as time went by, I thought, did I make that up, or you know? No, it was,
No, I don't think you did. That's my view, anyway.
Well, I feel that more of us have a connection to, let's say, UFOs or galactic family, and we will see more of those.
Yeah,
or
from now
involved
on.
in more instances. But obviously, they read your frequency. They're extremely worried about humans because of what we are.
What we're capable of.
What we're
Blowing up
capable
the
of. Exactly. So I'm of the belief that they are more scared of us than we are of them. But obviously we're a group of like-minded people and probably resonate at a similar frequency. So they're reading your frequency and your intent. You were saying intent, was it?
Yeah, the intent, yeah.
So if you want to come, because you're not far, if you want to come and we'll meet up somewhere, you know, anywhere along there works.
yeah,
We go
sure.
to Bridge and Beach or whatever. If they know you're looking and your intent, they will show themselves.
Okay.
I'll know beforehand.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
beforehand, even
Yeah.
now they'll know.
Yeah, and the higher our frequency goes, the easier they'll contact. Because once we hit a ceiling of whatever the frequency is, they will show themselves more, and then there will be telepathic messages, and next thing there will be contact, and they will come and land.
I do get a lot of stuff like that, and I've had some amazing spiritual experiences as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
Get a lot.
I will have contact with them. I will make contact and possibly go up in the ship, whether it's etherically or physically. I'm not as frightened as what I was when I back in 2016.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's now's the time, and it's a lot of now's the time for a lot of things.
Yeah, sure.
For us all to step up.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll get your number.
Okay.
That's great.
I hadn't thought of that galactic family at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're here for a reason. You're here in this room, in this group for a reason.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That picture, sorry, that picture in there, a photograph, was taken of me near the tree, and there's a orb.
I saw that.
You saw that? That's Kathleen told me that it was my father come back as a galactic being, because he's not human anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, they exist, and that was my proof, because I did ask. I said, come back, come and show yourself in daylight, right? I didn't want them to knock on the window going, big eye. I was thinking of D, really. I didn't have no setup. But yeah, so that was my evidence, and it's a photograph. That's why I like taking pictures of everything.
Taking pictures.
Okay, anybody else before we close and we're all starving to death? Diane and Bev, do you want to say a quick word each? Just say yes, and that's your word.
Yep.
Okay.
I've just
Put the light on.
changes in my life in recent times,
Yeah.
and I chose to make those changes, and I've been pretty well living in solitude from humans for the last 18 months, and just doing a lot of my practice and just being in nature and elements and my spiritual practice. And the last couple of weeks I've just been really yearning for my people, to have contact with humans again, but to my own people. And I'm very interested in ascension as well. I am a shamanic practitioner, so that's my spiritual practice. And probably have similar stories as we all do, but I was tapped on the shoulder last Saturday because I've been going to spiritualist churches every couple of years or so. My mum's best friend was a spiritualist, so I grew up there, but I only went to my first one when I was about 18. And so every couple of years I'll get the nod, to go. And I got it last Saturday. I was telling Annie, so I made contact because I had an old phone number for Timbua. And because I was really feeling this yearning to be around my own people. So I went on Sunday, and Annie told me about this group meeting this week, so I reached out to Michael. Annie put me in contact. So I'm just really appreciative to be here.
More than welcome. Shall we all? Anything you'd like to add?
I totally resonate with that. Being away from humans. They're a weird mob.
Yes, we are, but we're lovable.
We're all
Kindred humans. That's
yeah.
Sedona was that for
That's
me.
what I feel.
I was in a motel room in Sedona. I was there for quite some time, several trips, and I had to stay in the motel room. I only went out once or twice a week to do things, but I was right near the airport vortex, and I had to actually be in that. And so